just beginning to take in the enormous emotional moment this Supreme Court ruling represents by extending workplace protections to millions of Americans. Around the nation, celebration for Monday's historic decision. People gathering in front of New York's Stonewall Inn and in the nation's capital. Online, DeGeneres writing, historic. George Takei saying the LGBTQ civil rights movement began 51 years ago with the Stonewall riots led by trans POC heroes. Today, we mark another milestone in our struggle for equality with a victory in the Supreme Court, extending Title VII non-discrimination protections to LGBTQs. And actress and advocate Laverne Cox with this emotional post.
Oh my God, everyone. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Have you heard? Have you heard? I'm so overwhelmed. This is like my, I just called my friend Chase Strangio from the ACLU just to confirm what the news reports are saying. But we have won at the Supreme Court of the United States. It's very emotional. We won at the Supreme Court. I can't even believe it. I'm just, I'm overwhelmed.
The day after the decision, I sat down with writer, director, producer, and activist Janet Mock, who shared her reaction.
First, what was your reaction to the ruling?
Oh, my reaction was overwhelming joy. You know, in the past few weeks, there haven't been many victories. And so it was so great to wake up and to see that our Supreme Court really backed the people. You know, we had trans lawyers in the courtroom, we had trans folk and LGBTQ people and allies on the streets demanding this kind of equality and justice. You know, for me, I spent many years early in my career not being out as a trans woman for fear of being fired by my employers. And gratefully, when I did, you know, come forward and told my story when I was working at People magazine, I wasn't fired. But for many people, that does happen and that has happened. And I'm so glad that the court saw that and understood that gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation are things that be covered as terms of sex discrimination. So that was really, really we just needed that victory, especially this week.
It was clearly a hard-won victory, but describe what that's like for someone to live in fear of losing their job simply because of how they identify.
You know, the one thing we constantly tell, you know, young trans people is be unapologetic about who you are, be unapologetic about who you love. Don't leave parts of yourself at the door when you walk into spaces. And now finally we have protection for that. And so for me, all I can do and really think about are the everyday lived struggles of trans and gender nonconforming people. You know, to tell someone that they must perform or pretend to be something that they're not in order to make a living is just not just. And it's not the country that we live in, and it's not the country that our founding fathers built it on, right? So in a sense, if we're talking about the land of the free, we should create a space where people can freely be themselves, where people can love who they love, where they can simply go into a job, do what they do best, and not have to compromise themselves while doing it.
Hope and jubilation expressed by so many people across America, and a few thoughts.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.